Capcom Street Fighter 25th Anniversary UK, I am joined by James Bardolph, who is a local streamer known for his consistent streams at Winner Stays On. And you also go by the moniker WorstGiefEVER. How can you be the worst Gief ever if I play Gief? And I'm pretty terrible at that character. What's going on there?
Yeah, I kind of wish I didn't have that name now. I guess when I first joined the scene, I didn't expect to be someone people would know. So I chose when I went to the arcade in 2009, I didn't know that you could do SPD in either direction, regardless of what side you were on. So that's why I decided to call myself the worst Gief ever, because that's pretty bad. I'm sure you'll agree.
That is pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
Clockwise and counterclockwise. But while you may be the worst Gief ever, you are one of the best streamers here in London. Tell us how you transitioned from a arcade player, as you say, trying to mash those SPDs into the person that you have become in the community.
Well, around late 2009, I started traveling on the European circuit with these guys. And no one was recording anything, really. So I had a camcorder, which I still have. So I used to go around and just record as many matches as possible, mainly of our own guys, and then put them up on the internet on my YouTube channel. And then I just saw, as you saw the American scene advance, there was just a lack of progress on the European side, not just the UK side, but on a European scale. So I decided that, we had good players and they deserved more recognition and people seeing what they were doing. So I started acquiring streaming software, basically. And then around about the same time, Logan was starting. He was doing sessions in Gamerbase in London, which it developed into tournaments. As people don't take sessions seriously, play silly characters, etc. They need some kind of motivation. So I started broadcasting his weekly, and it kind of went from there.
Yes, you guys do have a very nice partnership going on there. Now, Combofiend invaded your tournament a couple days ago. He also played Marvel and AE, did quite well. What other international guests would you like to have visit Winner Stays On?
I would like to have a Daigo special, a Diego special. I think that would be quite good. Outside of that, it's hard to say. I'd like to have someone like Filipino champ for the Marvel tournament, purely because the trash talk would be quite good. I don't know if you've seen some of the highlights of those streams. We almost had a fight the other day. It gets pretty crazy. So normally it's not that bad, but it gets pretty hype. There's a lot of cussing and arms house as they say here.
Are there chavs on the stream?
There are chavs in the vicinity of where we play. Yeah. Sometimes you see them walk past on the stream. We have there's a certain camera view where there's actually kind of like a bungee jump thing inside. So when I have the crowd cam on, you can see someone just bouncing up and down in the corner. But in terms of chavs, you might get someone in the area. But on the stream, not really. I think we have a slightly better class of human being.
Very nice. And you are not only satisfied with handling the streaming here, but across all of Europe. Can you tell us about some of the other projects you have in other countries in the European Union?
Okay, well, I suppose the first one would be DreamHack in Sweden.
That's where I first met you.
Yeah, indeed. So I've been doing things with DreamHack since late 2009. It was the first time I went there when Gutex was hosting. Oh,
even back then? Wow,
Yeah, he was hosting. That's when we first met Xian. When he was still in his shell, could barely speak English. He was asleep most of the time as well. Some quite amusing pictures of that. But he's a very different person now. But started talking to them from there. And then once I had enough broadcasting gear to broadcast the tournaments, we started broadcasting every summer and winter at DreamHack. I also do World Game Cup in France. So that's the biggest tournament on the European circuit. That's kind of like the EVO equivalent for Europe. Every man, woman and child goes there. It's really good because the hotels are really, really cheap. They're like €13 a night, which is like $15 a night. You can get like a 7-man apartment and pay that, and it's just a really good experience. But before that, one of the first tournaments I went to abroad was Bushido Impact in Paris, which is probably my favourite tournament. It used to be every single month, and I'd gone there about eight times. Yeah, it used to be once a month. I'd gone there on my own. I'd got an overnight coach there, arrived before the organisers, and then left that night and got an overnight coach back to London, which is really, really bad. Don't ever do it. I started recording their events their finals and putting them on YouTube, etc. Because I had an established channel by then. After that, once I had a broadcasting setup, then I started doing their broadcast events as well. So I've done at least one this year, one last year as well. They had an international tournament last year, which I think GamerBee went to.
Yeah.
I can't remember. That might have been the year before, but
the Italian one, perhaps, and also he did the French one as well.
So yeah, I do Studio Impact in Paris, World Game Cup in France in Cannes, DreamHack Summer and Winter, and now DreamHack Spain as well from this year.
Oh wow!
Which is very, very nice. You know, no, not bad for the ladies.
Anything? Oh, Spain. You recommend Spain?
Yeah. Valencia by the beach, quite nice.
What about in the Netherlands?
Oh yeah, Netherlands. I have started to do that as well.
Okay.
I basically do almost every major in Europe. So Red Fight District, nice pun there. Play on words. Red Fight District is at the end of March in 2013, so I'll be doing that as well.
Very nice.
I'm supposed to be in Amsterdam to enter a tournament next week actually, but I think I might skip it because of scheduling. We have 3 major tournaments on the same date, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll be there next year doing a stream there as well, and then who knows what else.
Now I see that you have a Twitch TV shirt on, very nice. When you look at other streams, prominent streams, maybe it's from esports, maybe it's from the fighting game community elsewhere, is there anything that you are trying to acquire to add to your stream to make it more professional? I see that a lot of streams are now incorporating the DSLR instead of the standard webcam, and now we have lighting. Is there anything missing in your gig that you would like to add to your repertoire?
Well, because most streamers stream on laptops, because like a TriCaster is like $35,000 or something,
Jesus,
right?
Yes.
But you don't really need one for what we do anyway. I don't see the inherent advantage of having one. There are a few bits and bobs. One of the main things is your limitation on webcams. For example, if you have a USB 2 laptop, you can have 2 high-definition webcams on there, then you have no bandwidth for anything else. So you might get one on FireWire, or you might get one by sharing a desktop with something else, which would be terrible. So if you don't have USB 3, then that's less than ideal. So I'd say for the most part, more cameras. I don't necessarily need a DSLR because it depends on how you implement the camera. Like in America, you have people sitting side by side most of the time in your broadcast, whereas I mainly have them with their own screen in a versus setup. So each player has their own camera. So depending on your implementation, you may want different equipment. So yeah, there are things I want here and there.
I haven't asked you, what does Arms House mean, or where did it come from? Okay,
Arms House is a slang word in the UK, which is like, Americans would say beef, like someone has beef with someone else. The UK would say Arms House. And now, funny enough, I was doing...
is it a verb or a noun, or...
It's a word.
It's a word?
I can't tell you more than that.
Okay.
Right, but I was doing... You may not remember, but there was... when Super Street Fighter 4 came out, in the UK, Capcom did something with Paddy Power, which is an online betting website. And it was F-Word versus Ryan Hart.
Okay.
And you could bet on the actual match. And they had betting in running, so you could bet between the games as well, and it had changing odds. So they did that, and I streamed that live for them. And I was having a chat with a guy who used to work for Capcom back then, called Electric Leo. And we were talking about the UK community, and he said that one of his favourite things about the UK community was the slang, and especially the word Arms House. He found it quite funny. So when I was thinking about what to call my stream, I thought that was the most appropriate. Because it kind of represented the UK, despite it being like a European stream.
When you say that there are chavs around your tournament, you're actually in a very posh neighborhood of London, if I'm not mistaken.
It's got different sides to it, depending on what time of night you go there. So, for example, if you went there at 1 o'clock in the morning, you'd see a lot of girls wearing almost nothing in the street, regardless of the weather, which is cool. But then you have you have classy areas where you can go out and find someone that you might, want to have as a partner rather than have as a, as a one night stand that you may get some kind of venereal disease from. I don't know, but no, it's a fine area. It's got Chinatown just north of it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It has a lot of prostitution in the area. It has a gay area as well, and it has the building where it's in is called Trocadero, and we used to have a multi-floor arcade there. So it used to be a big haunt for teenagers. Mm-hmm. So you may get like groups of teenagers fiending on other like teenage girls and so on, and that's where the chaviness comes into it. But no, it's a nice area. There's a good mix of people, a lot of tourists next to Trafalgar Square, Leicester Square, cinemas and so on, Piccadilly. So yeah, it's got a multitude of things to do and people to find.
Last question. So United Kingdom has always separated itself a little from the European Union.
Continental Europe?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, also politically, and also they have a different currency. So I wouldn't say that Europe has, the FGC could be encompassed with one word. So what do you think it makes the UK FGC different from that of its European neighbors?
I think a lot of countries, I'd say most countries in Europe, didn't have an arcade scene. Whereas we had a very strong arcade scene up and down the country. So we have a very good history, a strong history here. And that's one of the most important things. Also, the general culture, for example, if you look at France, compared to us, like we have weekly live sessions here in London, which has really helped our community develop and become the players they are and the players they will be later on. Like the majority of France, for example, play online and don't have an offline scene they can go to, which is why Big Studio Impact was so popular when it was every month in Paris.
Right.
So I'd say the offline scene that we have here makes us different and stronger than most, if not all, countries in Europe.
So you brought that gutter culture from the arcades. That's the way it works in the
I'd say the older guys, I mean, we're not as gutter as you guys are out there, but there is definitely a different culture in the arcade scene. And one problem is that a lot of the younger guys who didn't grow up in it don't understand the value of the arcade scene.
Right.
They don't understand the importance of putting a pound coin in and the importance of not losing that match, which is a shame. And it's kind of with the release of games that are not released in the arcade as well, it's kind of killed that. So the arcade's pretty much done here. But we have the people who experience it, and they'll be around for a while, so as long as they are, then...
There you have it, keeping the arcade flame alive at Arms House. Where can people find more information about you and your weekly streams? Okay, so
armshouse.tv has all the information of upcoming streams, various other information. We do a lot of qualifiers as well.
Okay.
We did qualifiers for Shadowloo Showdown this year, and we sent 4 people out there. The most anyone else I think sent was 2, but we sent double that, which is quite nice. So we'll be doing some other qualifiers next year as well. It'll almost be year of the qualifier. There'll be a lot of guys from the UK/Europe in a lot of different places outside of Europe. So. Okay. Anyway, Arms House TV is the main information. Twitch.tv/Arms is the stream. So we have weeklies that alternate between Street Fighter 4 and Marvel, so look out for those.
Personal Twitter account?
Personal what?
Twitter account?
Oh, James Bardolph. So you might want to like type that on the...
We will get that for you. And are you guys have a subscriber model?
Not yet.
What would your special icon be?
I would leave
Rago?
that.
I would like to see a Rago.
Oh yeah. I think a Rago would be quite good actually.
Okay. What else?
My Days.
Oh My Days.
Oh My Days is quite popular. We'd have to have one of Logan shouting at people.
They actually turned his volume down today.
Just one with like flames coming out of his mouth.
I like that one.
I don't know what I'd have for myself, so I don't know. I'd leave it up to the community to decide.
They are the best when it comes for creative ideas. So Shrimon, just let them know what you want to see. Hopefully we can see a subscribership model on the Arms House one day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.